Hello everybody, so today I'm reviewing Big Game. Big Game is directed by Jalmari Helander. He also wrote this as well. And he directed a movie that I really enjoy called Rare Exports: The Christmas Tale, which is a different take on Santa Claus. So this stars Samuel L. Jackson, Onni, Tommila, Ray Stevenson, Victor Garber, Jim Broadbent, Felicity Huffman, and Jaymes Butler. That's the main people of the movie. To Samuel L. Jackson and Onni. Yep, doing really well with the pronouncing names in this. Onni, Tommila are the main people of the movie. This is Finnish. I don't think it was filmed in the Alps in Finland, but it was filmed in Finland. But there's some Alps part that I know were filmed somewhere else. So Big Game is the story of the president's plane is shot down, Air Force One is shot down, Samuel L. Jackson is the president, and then Oscar, played by Onni Tommila, is in the woods. He's hunting on his birthday. All the other people in the town go out hunting for something, and his dad's set up this for hunting, and he's just out there on his own looking for deer to hunt, and then finds the president in the middle of the forest. So Big Game with a story like that, a premise like that, that this kid's got to help the president of the United States, and Samuel L. Jackson is the president, and that this was an action movie. With a poster like this, I was thinking it was going to be a big action movie. Big Game is very disappointing to me. It's really mediocre action. It's not really action. This movie is more conversations with people trying to save the president, and then cliches of villains, of people that you don't think are going to be villains turn out to be villains, all that sort of shit. It's a movie that isn't really any surprises. There's no surprises in there for you. It's all things that you guess straight away. You're like, yep, that guy, you see them on screen straight away, and you're like, that guy's a bad guy. The opening of this movie has one of those things where you know you're watching a movie and you're like, they said it, they said the name of the movie. That has one of the biggest hit, that character the name of the movie thing in this, right at the beginning. Now, Big Game isn't a movie to be taken too seriously, but with a premise like that it has, and with Samuel L. Jackson being the president, you expect for an awesome, action-packed movie. There's probably, in this whole movie, about 10 minutes of action. There's a whole scene where the kid jumps from a cliff onto the top of a freezer, and that's the best scene of a movie. The thing falls down a hill, they're in a freezer. It's a movie that's not very realistic with what it does. Has these really cheesy one-liners, has stuff that's too convenient to happen in it. The villain is so underwhelming. When he's first introduced, you sort of get interested in him a bit, and then by the end you're like, he has no purpose, he has nothing true. I know it's saying some men just like to watch the world burn, but he doesn't really have much development to him, and there's nothing really behind him for you to understand why he's a villain and why he's doing what he's doing. So that's the disappointing thing about it. I can understand why some people have been having a lot of fun with this movie, but to me, it wasn't the fun that I was hoping for. It wasn't the cheesy fun that people have been saying that it is. To me, it was just a mediocre action movie with one really cool one-line that Samuel L. Jackson says, and a scene that did have me laugh. But there's also scenes in this that had me laughing that were meant to be serious, because they are just ridiculous scenes. And maybe the movie was going for that, but there's one scene in this that is just so stupid and just sort of lets down the movie. There's so many things that realism is disappeared from this action movie. I know action movies don't have to have complete realism in there now, but this movie cancels out realism completely. Yes, Big Game, I was hoping for fun, I was hoping for a film that many people were saying, don't go in taking it too seriously. And from the beginning I was like, yeah, I'm not going to take this too seriously, because it's just going to be a bit of fun. But to me, this wasn't fun. It wasn't the fun that I was hoping for, and I'm hugely let down. It's nice to see this director going on to more big Hollywood movies and get himself out there more, because Rare Exports wasn't really a massive movie. It does have quite a little bit of a following, and people do enjoy it as a fantasy horror movie. People do enjoy that, but it's not the biggest thing he's done, and Big Game is the thing that's put him out there more, and I can see more people wanting to see him do a lot more action or something. And I've heard that, like, people saying, oh, they want a sequel to this. If they're going to have a sequel, then I want the character of Oscar to be fleshed out a bit more, and like, he's interesting when you first meet him, and there's some cool things, and the kid is a good actor, and I think he works for the whole of it. Samuel L. Jackson is fun in this movie, but the kid walks around looking too serious all the time, and there's just so many cliches in the plot and things that are too convenient, and just a very underwhelming ending and just very silly with what it did. So Big Game is one of the biggest disappointments of this year for me. I had high hopes. I was hoping for cheesy fun, and I didn't get that. Big Game gets a 5 out of 10 from me. Could have been so much better, and it wasn't. It's a huge disappointment. So that's my review of Big Game. If you've seen Big Game, sounds down in the comments down below. If you enjoyed it, or if you're going to be seeing Big Game when it comes out, are you excited for it? What's your favourite cheesy action movie? For me, it's The Last Action Hero, because that is absolute fun cheese with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I love that movie. So that is all from me today. Thank you very much, and I shall see you all again very, very soon. Goodbye.